What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bradford Irons, and today I'm going to give you 5 reasons small businesses fail and what you can do to make sure you're not one of them. Stress, little pay, long hours, and a lack of meaning in their work. A growing number of Americans are unhappy in their jobs, but they continue to go because they simply don't know what else to do. But many find the courage to bet on themselves and make the leap to entrepreneurship, not knowing that they're very likely to fail. The first reason small businesses fail is because they simply don't understand business. Many times people start a business because they have a particular skill, they want more autonomy, and they want to be able to chart their own course, so they start a business in that skill. Maybe they're an electrician, so they start an electrician business, or they're a great programmer, so they end up starting an apps business. Many times after starting a business, the owners will focus on doing the skill that they're good at, and then they wonder why their business isn't growing. But being an electrician and running a growing electrician business are two different things. These are very different skill sets. When you start a business, you typically have to wear multiple hats for a season, whether that's the CEO or the chief commercial officer or the chief operating officer or the CFO. These are very critical roles that you have to fill in your business. Whether formal positions or not, the work is necessary for a successful business. You can be great at a particular skill set, but if you don't know how to do market research, you don't know how to run your operations or sell and win clients, or you blow through all your money because you're terrible at finances, it can really hinder your growth and cause your business to fail. So if you aren't business minded, you really need to focus on learning more about it. Read as many books as you can on sales and marketing and operations and hiring and leading teams. And don't read just to read. Read to learn and to understand important key concepts, which means you need to take very clear and detailed notes and put what you learn into practice. Now, you don't have to become an expert in all these areas. You just need to learn enough so that it's not a hindrance to your business. Now, you may have to fill many of these roles yourself in the beginning, but eventually you want to make sure you build your team and hire out some of these responsibilities because you can't do everything on your own. And that brings me to the second reason small businesses fail. And that's because the owners are lone warriors. Many businesses fail because the owners are lone warriors. Now, owning your own job is perfectly fine, but if you want to own a growing business, then you have to understand your strengths and your weaknesses and outsource and hire people to fill in the gaps or do the jobs better than you can do it. Even if you are good at something, it doesn't mean you should be the one doing it. You have to find those few jobs that you enjoy, has the biggest impact, and can produce the highest returns, and then you focus on those. Everything has opportunity costs, and the more time you spend doing less important tasks is the less time you have doing more important responsibilities. If you want it done right, then you have to do it yourself is a completely ridiculous mantra. You aren't dictator Zorg, and it really didn't work out too well for him anyways. Now, I completely understand this mindset because it can be very hard to find good help. But this is where you gotta learn how to hire and properly vet your employees, your suppliers, and your partners, and not just do everything yourself. Yes, you wanna make sure you're overseeing their work and they're doing things up to your standard. But once they have proven themselves and you know you made the right hire, then you need to let them do their job so you can focus on more important things. There are many great people out there who do excellent work and can do it even better than you can. There's so many new business owners out there who can't seem to trust people to do their work, always stepping in and micromanaging everything. This is not only inefficient and unnecessary, it's also very aggravating for the employee. Delegation is a skill that has to be learned and practiced. Not everybody is good at it, so if you aren't, again, read about it and put it into practice. Now, before we continue, I just want to ask that you subscribe, hit the like button, and share with any business owners or aspiring business owners you may know. It not only can help them, but it can also go a long way to helping us grow this channel as well. Now, the third reason small businesses fail is because they simply don't understand their business. Now, because many small business owners aren't educated in business, they don't always know what to improve or how to improve it. One thing that always helps determine what needs to change is by tracking everything in your business. You don't know your business if you don't know your numbers or track anything. As a small business owner, you don't have time or money to waste. So everything you do or spend significant time on must be tracked and results monitored. Tracking key performance indicators like revenue, expenses, profit and loss, and cash flow are very important. But you also need to track the many things in your business that affects those KPIs. So for example, if you rent a table at a trade show, you really need to understand the total cost or investment. How much did it cost to rent the booth, create banners and marketing materials, and how much did it cost to fly salespeople out there to man the booth? And on the flip side, you really need to understand the return from that event. From that event, how many leads were generated? And from those leads, how many did you follow up with an email or a phone call? And how many in-person meetings did you get? From those meetings, how many offers did you make? And how much sales did you realize? Now, there are many different models on how to estimate trade show success, but the important thing is that you pick one and start monitoring the return on your investment. From that information, you can determine what trade shows to invest in and what changes you need to make to increase your return on your investment. Now, this is just one example, but really everything in your business needs to be tracked, from trade shows to direct and email marketing campaigns, phone calls, and advertising spend. There's a whole host of metrics you can track in your operations, whether it's customer acquisition costs or capital expenditures, expenses, or inventory turnover rate. The list goes on. Almost everything you spend money on, you should aim at getting a return on your investment. If you don't track it, you won't know what works and what doesn't work, what market segments you should go after, or how to improve your products and services. So figure out what metrics are most important to your business and start tracking them. Now, in the beginning of your business, much of this tracking will be done in Google Sheets or Excel. But as your company grows, you'll hopefully have more money to invest in more sophisticated tools, whether it's customer relationship management software or enterprise planning software, or just better accounting software. There are all sorts of tools and software out there to help you run your business, so use them. Now, because many businesses don't track anything, they end up mismanaging their money. A lot of businesses fail because of financial mismanagement. And this can mean so many different things. One of the ways is that 1 out of every 5 business owners don't have a separate account for their business. And this is a big issue because if you mix your personal and business assets, you really don't have a good idea of your company's cash flow or your overall financial health of your business. It's also an issue because you lose the limited liability protection that you get by having a business. This is something called piercing the corporate veil, and one of the ways to do that is to mix your personal and business assets. As a result, your personal assets can be taken to satisfy your business debt and liabilities. Kind of defeats the purpose of having a business, doesn't it? But this is just one way small businesses mismanage their finances. Many businesses fail to issue payment to suppliers on time, and actually many fail to invoice on time as well, which means they're not getting paid on time. It's like, why would you not want to get paid on time? There's plenty of paid and free invoicing software out there like QuickBooks or Stripe or PayPal or FreshBooks. So what's the problem? Well, a lot of the times it's simply the fact that business owners get so busy in their day-to-day activities that they get behind and they fail to invoice on time. They don't have the help or the system in place to make sure it gets done. But whatever the reason you're not invoicing on time, get paid. Businesses also struggle with adequate cash reserves. Just like in your personal finances, where you need an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months, your business also needs an emergency fund, or what we call cash reserves. You never know if you get sick, or a critical employee quits, or one of your main suppliers closes up shop, or something like a global pandemic comes down and shuts your business for several months. Like that could ever happen. All of these things could happen to your business, so you need an emergency fund. Now, as a result of all this financial mismanagement, many small businesses end up running out of money. It takes a lot of money to start and run a business, and because a lot of businesses don't properly track things or monitor the return on their investments, or even estimate the expenses that they will incur before starting a business, they can easily run out of money and not even see it coming. So many business owners just start a business and have no idea how much it will cost to start and run that business. And startup costs can be quite high. Let's say you have a cool idea for a new tool or gadget. Then you have to properly estimate not only how much it will take to get a proof of concept prototype, but a functional prototype and a production prototype as well. How much will it cost to stand up operations and manufacturing? What kind of equipment and supplies will you need? And how many workers you're gonna have to hire? If going the contract manufacturing route, then how much is it gonna cost per unit or per hour to produce that gadget? And then having a product is great, but you need someone to actually buy that product. How much can you reasonably charge for that product, and how much will it cost to advertise and promote? How much is it going to cost to get each new customer, and how long will it take to get them? You don't want to spend all this money up front just to find out that you have a long sales cycle and it's going to take several years before you have any money coming in. And where's all the startup money for your small business going to come from anyways? A lot of people choose to raise money or get a small business loan, but what you really don't want to do is to just charge all of your expenses onto your credit card, especially with the high interest rates that we have today. But even small business loans are risky as well because they usually require a personal guarantee. And that's why a lot of small business owners choose to fund the business themselves and grow slowly. These are all the things that you need to think about before starting your business. And then after starting your business, if you don't want to run out of money, you have to continuously monitor your working capital and your cash flow. That's why companies have something called a cash flow statement. This statement helps determine if you have enough cash to cover your expenses and is a good gauge of the overall strength of your business. All of these things is why it's very important that you have a detailed business plan before starting your business, which is the fifth reason that small businesses fail. They don't plan their business before starting. Before starting a business, you need a detailed business plan, not just so you can secure funding, but to help you really understand if you have a good business opportunity or not. It also addresses many of the issues that I've already talked about in this video. One of the things you should lay out in your business plan is what is your product or service, what market you're gonna serve, and what's the value you're bringing to those customers, or what problem are you trying to solve. And as payment for adding that value, how much can you reasonably charge? Just because you have an idea doesn't mean you can run a business off of that idea. A strong business plan helps make sure you have the right strategies for success. And you need this not only before you start a business, but you need to periodically update it after you start a business as well. Now, if you need help developing a detailed business plan, or if you need one-on-one business coaching or consulting services, whether it's developing a business strategy, a marketing strategy, or streamlining your operations, please hit the link in the description and I'll be glad to help you. Thank you.